right now, but I promise you that I don't give a fuck now. They wanna hate on me just now. They hate forever cheat now. Oh wow.
Hey, the man them are too different, bro. Like, we make music that you'll never hear in your life ever again, bro. Like, this is originality. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, that was a good little what do you call it? Good little music break. This is the video we're gonna watch right now.
Hi creative professionals, I'm here from the Adobe team telling you that we are live every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. to teach you how to use our favorite flagship products alongside Adobe Express.
What does your first hit of meth feel like?
Superman.
Wait, what did you just say?
What does your first hit of meth feel like?
Superman.
Now we are seeing students as young as first grade who have had drug issues.
What?
4% of guys that are slaying you.
What? How in year first grade, is that year 2 or year 1? How are you? Wait. Nah, bro. How are you in year 2 and you're taking drugs already? That is crazy. Is this in Philly?
You think wasted.
This is Philadelphia. Oh, Nebraska. Bro, so there's way more than one city like this in the US. This is the side of the United States of America that they don't show you, bro. You see all the glams and glitter and glamour, and yeah, like the American dream, people are getting rich, billionaires, millionaires, opportunities. But behind that, for every one person that makes it, there's probably about 10,000 that are fucking left in a fucking crackhead city, bro. Like, because I was watching a video about Philadelphia, and they have some city. No, Philly is the city, but inside the city, they have a mini zone, like a mini, what are you gonna say, an area within the city that's just like crackhead town, and like no one goes there. And I thought it was this, but there's more than one, bro. Obviously there's LA as well with Skid Row and all the places there, but this is a whole other state again, bro. This is crazy.
Online it says that Omaha is the most drug addicted city in America. Does that surprise you?
The United States of America is facing...
This is in the middle of... This is in Kansas.
Does that surprise you?
The United...
This is how you know the drug problem in the US is just get way too deep. Because this is in the Midwest, or like this is the middle part of the US, where it's kind of usually isolated from a lot of the influence from the east and the west coast. But bro, if it's reaching the inner cities, the Midwest, and then the mid states in general, because look, Pennsylvania's there, Philly, New York, Florida, Alabama, they have problems with drugs. Then you have all the West Coast as well. But Kansas, for it to reach there is crazy.
The States of America is facing a massive drug crisis. In 2021, over 106,000 people died from drug overdoses. This is up 14% from 2020.
Wait,
the main
much? How many?
6,000 people died from drug overdoses. 6,000
That's a lot.
people died from drug overdoses. This is up 14% from 2020. The main culprit in this story is fentanyl.
Next to the fentanyl crisis wreaking havoc in
Fentanyl, and also you're not addressing the causes why people are getting more and more attracted to these drugs. Of course, the problem is fentanyl because that's what's making the overdose. But how come there's more people that are becoming addicted and therefore are more likely to be dying? In my humble opinion, there's a few issues that needs to be addressed, and one of them is the opioids crisis, sorry. you have a lot of people that get prescribed medicine when they have pain or after surgery or for trauma based stuff, and a lot of time they can't afford to pay for the prescription, so they turn to street drugs to kind of self medicate, and in other cases, they become addicted to the prescriptions, and sometimes the drug might get called back, or like they might cancel it, they might not sell it no more, and then this person is still left addicted, so they don't have to, but they're already addicted, so yeah, they look for an alternative, and a lot of times it results in street drugs, heroin, meth, cocaine, laced cocaine, crack, and also there's the whole mental health aspect of what the lockdowns brought upon society, all the pressures that people felt, and the fact that they wasn't able to be as social as they used to, and human beings are social creatures, so it's something that we actually need. We need to be social to be able to thrive. So that plays a big part as to why people would resort to self-medication or just getting addicted to different substances. And so that's just one with the COVID crisis and the lockdown and shit. And I think one of it is as well is the inflation and the cost of life crisis is also taking a big toll on people's mental, and I think that contributes a lot to people resorting to street drugs.
Communities across the country, overdoses, drug seizures, and concerns continue to grow from coast to coast.
The victim can be seen buying the fentanyl, then walking over to the front door of the gas station before collapsing.
A snapshot of America's fentanyl crisis.
Damn.
An average of one person every 10 hours dies
Zombie
in this
doff,
city
bro.
of a fentanyl overdose.
A lot more people
Zombie
are dying,
doff, bro.
and it's in a lot of the drug supply, and people are doing it without knowing they're doing it.
Fentanyl was created in 1959 by Dr. Paul Janssen to be a more efficient alternative to morphine, and it's used in hospitals to help with surgeries.
Wait, hold on. Fentanyl was created as an alternative to morphine. If you know people that have taken morphine before in hospital, you know how strong that shit is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they even, like, people sometimes after surgery they put you on morphine, but you have a button that allows you to dose yourself, and you press it when you feel pain, and then you feel some sort of relief. But even that, you become addicted, so people have to regulate like how many times people are pressing the button, because morphine is so fucking potent. And to think that someone would say it's not enough, we need an alternative that's way more powerful, that sounds like Machiavellic almost.
Pain management. Due to its potency and how cheap it is to produce, drug dealers cut their products with fentanyl to stretch it and make it stronger. The journey of fentanyl to the United States is as follows.
What happened to
Much
the days
it
of
is
baking
created
soda?
in China and India, and it's sold to Mexican criminal organizations like the Sinaloa cartel. It's then smuggled across the border.
If you know about the whole opium crisis in China as well, you know China's just getting their get back, because there was a time when communist China was rebuilding itself, and the Western powers that be had some deals going on with China, with Hong Kong and was it Beijing, and there was Hong Kong, there's obvious, but specifically Hong Kong with the British, and there was loads of, like, there was a heroin crisis in China, because people were becoming addicted and they didn't have no will of living, they were overdosing, and it was because the Europeans was bringing heroin to sell it and make their profit in those towns, in those cities in China. And now look how the tables have turned. China is now a major producer what did I say? Producer, sorry. China is now a major producer of fentanyl, and probably their main export is probably the US.
And it's been flooding the American streets. Today, we visit the most drug-addicted city in America, Omaha, Nebraska. Top in the nation for... Today, we...
From Minneapolis, Indianapolis. I can't even say Minneapolis, Indianapolis, Omaha, Wichita, Tulsa. I heard of Tulsa. Was there not a Tulsa massacre? Oh, for fuck's sake. Hold on. Oh, fuck. Tulsa. There was a Tulsa massacre. Tulsa race riot. Yeah, this is where they had Black Wall Street and they killed all the man them still. Yeah, no wonder this is a fucking crackhead town. You fucking took all their hope away. What the hell? Oklahoma City. You got Mesa in Arizona, Phoenix and Colorado Spring. Damn. That's damn. And LA is not California and Philadelphia are not even in it, and they also have a crisis.
We visit the most drug-addicted city in America, Omaha, Nebraska. Top in the nation for meth, cocaine, marijuana, and heroin. We speak with addicts, people in recovery, drug dealers, and law enforcement. Let's hit the streets.
Damn. Okay. Okay, guys, technical difficulties, bear with me.
First, we stop at University of Nebraska, Omaha to speak with Coalition RX, a nonprofit dedicated to reducing drug use. Ladies and gentlemen, Carrie.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
We're seeing big pharma on the streets, and we're seeing a lot of drugs, mainly fentanyl. And the bad thing about fentanyl is just little grams to kill you.
If you look at
So
a drug
fucking
dealer like a
potent.
business operation, what's in it for them to lace things with fentanyl?
It's cheap, and it gives you a good kick of
profit.
high.
It's one of the
Right.
most dangerous drugs we've ever seen.
More
How is
addictive, more
fentanyl
profit.
getting into this country? Does anyone know the source? Where it comes
Mexican
from, how it
cartel,
gets-
China.
The drugs are being
You know what? Before he answers this, I would bet that the Mexican cartels are probably the South American cartels in general are probably working with China. So, because China wouldn't export it directly to the US, that's dumb. It's like, wow, you send it to us, caught red-handed. You manipulating our what do you call it? It's like national security problem. It's literally a national security emergency if you got a whole other country trying to destabilize your country through sending drugs and shit. That's why I think they send it to China. They send it to South America. They have deals with them man, and them man pass it through the border, the south border of the US, because there's been a whole debate about that border for years, and that's how the drugs get in. And honestly, if I was part of the cartel, I would invest. Sorry, I'm burping. I would invest in politicians that are going to make sure that the border remains what do you call it, open, or remains you know what I'm trying to say. I would, as the cartel, I would put my money in American politicians that are gonna assure that they're not gonna close the borders and they're gonna keep them quite open, and they're gonna be quite lenient on security and that.
manufactured in China, and they're being sold to the groups like Sinaloa. And
I'm not making this shit up, bro. I'm not making this shit up. Like, it's common sense. It's common sense, bro. Like, I didn't even watch this video before, so I'm reacting to this video with you guys. So it's common sense. China wouldn't just send it to them. They would have deals, my man. Then you pass it to the border. Obviously, you're closer. And then you get the blame as well.
China, and they're being sold to the groups like Sinaloa in Mexico and then trafficking it across the border.
Federal agents found 300,000 fentanyl pills and 11 pounds of fentanyl powder. Authorities say the SUV has crossed the U.S.-Mexico border multiple times.
Now we are seeing students as young as first grade
What the fuck?
who have had
There's no way.
drug issues.
There's no way, bro.
Big Pharma, in my mind, they are
The culprits.
the people that needed to be held accountable. They've been getting off scot-free, if you ask me.
You can't even sue Big Pharma. It's so deep. It's so fucked. You can't sue them. They're not liable for anything. They have deals to make sure that they're not liable for anything, bro. So you can complain however much you want. It's never gonna go to higher court. It's always gonna go to citizens court, and it's gonna be settlements that are paid to the people that are damaged. So it's never gonna go to federal court or high court or none of that, bro. It's always gonna be settlement in citizen court, if that. You know what I'm saying? If it's really bad, then they're trying to sweep it under the rug.
My son passed away when he was 18 from an accidental oxycodone overdose.
Damn, sorry to hear, Auntie.
Campus, actually. He had just finished his freshman year
18,
on a
bro.
full academic scholarship here, and from what I can tell, he was experimenting with drugs, I believe, because of some stress he was under with grades and things. And he went to sleep one night after getting some oxycodone from another student, and he didn't wake up. that morning.
If we meet a drug dealer,
Bro, 18, man. 18. Man was struggling with school, his grades, the whole stress of making something of yourself in this whole fucking climate where money doesn't even seem like you can't even stretch money like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Took a pill to relax. He never came back, bro. Do you know how fucked that is?
today that bolsters his business with fentanyl, what would be your message to that drug dealer? What would you like to say to him?
Well, I want them to think about their own child or their niece or nephew or the kid next door. Would they want that kid's life to end because of what they're doing to make a buck? They're killing people's kids.
Addiction is giving up everything.
Some of the drug dealers are kids themselves, bro. So kids are killing kids. Obviously not all of them, but in that case, they're probably not even aware of all the consequences. The adults that if you're over 20, you should know what the fuck you're doing, bro. Like,
for one thing, but recovery is giving up one thing for everything.
How many people in this room has either had a family member or know of someone that is
recovery.
One thing for it's giving up everything for one thing, but recovery.
Addiction is giving up everything for one thing, and recovery is giving up one thing for everything. That's a good way to put it.
Addiction is giving up everything for one thing, but recovery is giving up one thing for everything.
How many people in this room has either had a family member or know of someone that is overdosed in their circle?
Overdosed?
Yeah.
How many people know of someone that overdosed in their circle? I can't even. I don't know for sure, so I wouldn't raise my hands. But there is a case of something that happened that I know, someone that I know. And God, I hope it wasn't that, man, because I still don't know what happened. But it's a similar story to what she said. I think he went to sleep, and he didn't wake up. Yeah, he went. So I don't know. I don't want to put that out there because to this day I still don't know what happened, but it could have been.
Or know of someone that is overdosed in their circle.
Yeah.
Since there's fentanyl in a lot of things, you can carry naloxone. So what you do is you put it into your nasal cavity. I don't have the test.
I put this up their nose.
You put this part, and then you just push down, and it will spray.
Corporal Crane was equipped with a nasal spray,
Go straight to your
Narcan,
brain.
a prescription medicine that rapidly reverses the effects of an overdose.
Thanks, you guys.
Because this shit is so potent, they have to inject it straight to your brain, broski. Like Narcan usually, for other drugs, you can just inject it in someone's thigh, in the arm, you know what I'm saying? In the back. This one I have to inject it straight into the nose because it's so fucking potent. Fentanyl is such a crazy drug. It needs to go straight to the brain.
Medicine that rapidly reverses the effects of an overdose.
Thanks, you guys.
Take care. Next, we head to speak to a former drug dealer that can give us insights on how narcotics are moving through this area.
So we're heading to a trap house in Omaha, talk to a dealer, get inside their head. Tell me about the drug scene in Omaha.
It's pretty active right now. I mean, when you hit us up saying that there's an epidemic level, I honestly thought to myself, I was like, well shit, the drugs have always really been here. One of the big things right now is meth, a lot of overdoses.
Does that make you nervous being in the game?
This made me a little nervous, not gonna lie, because nobody really understands what they're doing nowadays, you know?
Nah, it's true, especially my man's older. I'm sorry guys, I keep pausing it, but this is what we came here for. We came to discuss. So, fuck, I forgot my point. Yeah, he knows what he's doing, but he's just stuck in his bubble, right? He's got to do what he's got to do to make ends meet, right? And like he said, the drugs probably have always been there to a certain extent. Maybe it's more rampant now, but I think he didn't. I think a person like this wouldn't see the consequences straight away until like it hits them in the face, like raw. Because I'm pretty sure you're out here selling drugs, you know it's fucking up people, but you're not thinking raw, like what I'm giving you is gonna make you overdose tonight and you're gonna die. So basically, if I never gave it to you, sorry, you might have still been alive. You might have went to another drug dealer, but maybe his shit wasn't laced, you know what I'm saying? So hey,
what do you view as the impact of fentanyl coming into the game?
It's honestly a travesty because it just kills people.
What percent of guys that are slaying you think lace their shit?
I just assume everybody
60.
Because at the end of the day, when they get it, they themselves sometimes don't know if it's been stepped on or cut.
I hear it.
Tell me about the journey of how drugs
I
get to
hear it.
America and how Omaha is a central point of that.
The way I understand it is just because we're on I-80, Interstate 80, everything gotta come and go through here at some point in time. That's why, like Nebraska, they call it the gauntlet, because we make so many drug busts on the interstate.
Have you ever felt bad for a customer?
At the end of the day, people are grown, it's their own responsibility to handle their shit, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do the drugs, not let the drugs do you, whatever it is you're doing.
What made you decide to get into the game?
I did it out of necessity, like out of survival, because I lost my job, a lot of different things were going on, I got in trouble with the law, and I was just trying to figure myself out.
And what kind of things went down in this house that we're at?
This place, man, everything used to go down here. Literally everything. Meth, coke, crack, weed, everything. Like, I got out in 2019, but I went away before it ever even got raided.
What was your childhood like?
It was pretty regular.
Yeah. Do your parents know what you've been up to?
Do they know everything? No, but my mom, I love my mom, so she has an idea.
Does it surprise you to hear that Omaha is the most drug-addicted city in the country?
It kind of does.
Big Pharma, what role do you think they play in this whole game?
I think they play a big role in it. Because a lot of the stuff that people are exposed to wasn't around before now.
If you came face to face with a mother of someone that had
That's true. Before that white brother decided to make morphine more potent and created fentanyl, there wasn't a fentanyl problem. There might have been like a coke problem, but like, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know that the heyday of coke, I don't know, it was in the 80s. That shit was pure, bro. Like, I wasn't even born, but from what I've heard, that's something that you wouldn't even worry about, because it's like you just do a little thing and it's so pure, you're not worried about other shit making you addicted to it. So yeah, man.
Died from drug overdose. What would you say to her?
Sorry for your loss. I mean, the person makes their own choice at the end of the day. Nobody forced them to do that. I feel sorry for them.
Is there like a code on the streets, like most dealers won't deal to kids, or do you know of any guys that'll sell to a 5th grader or a 6th grader?
I think if anybody got the money, anybody will serve it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
If you could retire from this profession, what would you get into?
I'd like to do what you're doing.
It's quite interesting to go around the city and learn about different people's lifestyles, especially as a drug dealer. He might have different insights. And
perfect. So we have
different questions that make it more
beautiful
interesting. Every time I skip an ad, it starts loading, bro. What the fuck?
Next, we head to a part of Omaha where drug addicts and homeless people are living in tents on the street to get their story and hear what their life is like.
Omaha is known as the most drug addicted city in America.
It is. I'm with the outreach program. I'm a psychologist. Fentanyl is the worst thing in the world. They used it when they put you under to do surgery. They quit using it when it disappeared off the docks. They went to Mexico. It comes back to the United States. They stomp on it. What stomping means, they mix it with other things. Young cats like you get it.
What can you tell us about life here?
Difficult, hot, resources are slim.
Do you survive out here all day?
Yeah, I'm here 24/7.
What gets someone to a point that they're willing to be outside in a tent in 90-degree heat?
To get away. Sometimes it's better to be out here than it is to be in an abusive situation. And guess what? It could happen to you two guys too.
What's the drug that's running through Omaha right now?
Meth,
real,
crack, there's some cocaine and weed.
It's some real shit, bro. And a lot of times they only show you the black crackheads town, bro. They show you the reals. They're showing you the reals. And America is feeling it right now. Because why? Because their own white people are getting affected and they're gonna get shook. If they don't do anything after this, I'm convinced that no one cares. Because now I know that most people won't care. But they will be forced to care because now that it's affecting the white population so much, they're looking at the TV like, right, that the white owners of companies or blah, they're looking like, right, that could be my son, that could be like my nephew, that could be my distant family. You know what I'm saying? And they might start getting shook because they were thinking about profit margins and stuff like that. But obviously, you always have to expand, and it comes to your doorstep. And then what you gonna do now? You gonna cry because you was part of it, fam.
Pretty much anything you want to find is pretty much everywhere.
Right here.
I got out of the situation that I was in and ran out of funds, so I got stuck here until I can get enough funds up to be able to get into a place.
People are bad. They've had a bad situation, but sometimes the system doesn't allow that.
What could the system change or what could be better about the system?
Other psychologists, psychiatrists, outreach programs, hospitals where they can take their medication, etc., etc. They can live a normal life.
This is kind of the Skid Row of Omaha, I would say.
Hell yeah, this the bottom. I can't get my fucking ID. They fucking with me. They keep talking about they care about the people that's homeless. They don't want you to put your tents up nowhere. Why the fuck we can't put our tents up nowhere and y'all not trying to help us?
I had suspicions about this guy,
Basically,
so I called the Sienna
fam.
Francis house to see if he worked there. They said he was not a psychiatrist on staff. He was a patient. Today we meet
Wait,
John.
what?
They said he was questions about this guy, so I called.
And y'all not.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's a self-appointed psychiatrist, bro. I hear him. There's no one else on the roads to do this job, so guess what? He's the self-appointed psychologist until anyone says otherwise. Until there's another psychologist that pulls up another authority figure that's like, no, my man is not an authority figure. He's not a psychologist, psychiatrist.
Trying to help us.
I had suspicions about this guy, so I called the Sienna Francis house to see if he worked there. They said he was not a psychiatrist on staff. He was a patient. Today we meet John, a former addict helping
You should have asked him more questions. Like, how come you don't want to admit you're a patient?
The path to recovery outside the Sienna Francis house, which is a place leading the charge in helping the homeless, but also one of the highly concentrated areas of drug addicts in the city. It's a sketchy place that plays a central role in this story.
The most drug-addicted city in America is arguably Omaha, Nebraska. Does that surprise you to hear?
That's the first time I've heard that. I know it's bad here, the fentanyl epidemic, the opioid crisis. I know it's known for the methamphetamine use, but yeah, it's getting worse and worse.
So I've got a for-profit counseling agency, Halo Counseling Center. I've been doing that for about the last 8 years. Started that that in 2015. So we do a lot of work with like the criminal justice system. Most of our referrals come from probations, drug courts, veterans courts, things like that. It's insane. I mean, our business just continues to grow. I started off with just me.
This thing's talking about business growing, fam. Nigga, you don't fucking help these people. Your business... So business is booming. Bro, you're helping crackheads and there's more and more crackheads. Alright, cool. Maybe it's booming now. But it's gonna reach a ceiling. What are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, oh, I need more of them to make more profit. Or you gonna be happy that you're actually making a change and they don't have to come back to you.
Me, myself, and I, and now we're up to 8 counselors, 5 offices, and we still can't keep up.
What got you into this?
So I got my own history. In 2006, I was out on the streets smoking meth. I was involved in a raid September 11, 2006, and was arrested, charged with conspiracy to distribute 500 grams of meth. So I was just with the guy that was doing it, basically. I was his right-hand man. So
that's where it started for me, where my sobriety got started, was that treatment facility right there. Used to be a lot of tents out here, and if we end up walking down farther that way, you'll see a lot of tents and everything where the people choose not to go into the shelter. You know, they're either not ready yet or it's just not for them.
How did you become sober?
Fuck off. Let's see if it bugs out. Skip.
I got arrested, which is my sober date, August 26th of 2020, and arrested for methamphetamine. I went to jail for 6 months, and I've been battling drug addiction for probably the last 10 years. And so I was arrested, sat in jail for 6 months. I came over here. I was here for 7 months, and then went to the halfway house, and then just been trying to get my life back together slowly but surely.
It seems like jail is a lot of people's sober day.
Yeah, absolutely. Some sort of higher power, man, that gave me the option to do a program that we offer here, and if I graduate that program, I get the felony removed from my records.
Once I got into jail, it was almost a sense of relief because I had attempted sobriety, some feeble attempts, didn't really reach out to get any real help. Then when I was charged federally, then it just became a fear factor. Once you see the United States of America versus John Sapensky, that tends to tighten some things up in the old body there.
What does your first hit of meth feel like?
Superman, euphoria, energy. I was at work, I was mowing lawns, and I had a hangover from the night before, and my boss was like, dude, what's wrong? What's going on, man? Usually, you're doing a good job at work. Man, I got a hangover, I feel like crap, whatever. He's like, go talk to my brother. So I went and talked to the brother.
His
He
boss.
pulled out a bag of meth, took a big old snort, and I'm mowing lawns like nobody's business. I'm running around with a weed eater and just tearing people's lawns apart.
Hold on, his boss recommended this. Oh my gosh. This is so fucking corrupt. How can your boss tell you to get on drugs so you do a better job? That's crazy.
Glorious.
So it started out pretty innocent.
Yeah, within weeks, I'm staying up for days on end. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I got to work at 6. I need to get more dope. Can't find any more dope. Can't go to work. And the cycle began.
My first experience with it was I was using marijuana at the time, and my friend came over, and I took a hit of meth, and it really didn't do anything for me then. I don't know if it was because I was already prescribed amphetamines, legal amphetamines, and then years down the road.
Wait, why was he prescribed it? Did they have like some pain issue?
Prescribed amphetamines, legal amphetamines, and then years down the road, after I got into some trouble in a different city, I was on probation, and I was kind of trying to be clean, and a girl said to me that I was seeing at the time, she said, well, this will make sex better. Of course, I'm all for it. If it's gonna make sex better, why not?
How'd you find your way here? What's your story?
Bro, it's actually an easy slippery slope. What the fuck? It is such a slippery slope. Just a one-time thing turns into a lifetime of addiction. That's crazy, fam. That's crazy, fam.
Trouble with the law. I was addicted to meth for like 13 years.
When was your first introduction into meth? How'd you start that?
When I was 16 years old, I used to drink a lot with my friends and stuff, and I got introduced to it one night. It was like something to stay awake, to party more, and then it became...
Bro, thank God I didn't grow up in this era. Oh my goodness, thank goodness. I am so happy I grew up in the era I grew up in, because I can relate to what he's saying. When I was young, living in the Caribbean, I started drinking early, bro. Like 12, 13, 14, man's out here drinking rum, doing this, drinking cider, popping bottles with the man them, you know what I'm saying? Because these man were older than me. So, and just imagine if someone was to say, oh yeah, just take this, it's nothing, like. And me being 14 already, I'm just trying to fit in. I'm just like, alright, cool, everyone's doing it. It must not be that bad, innit? And bro, you can just get hooked for life. That's why I'm just happy, bro. I just stuck to the alcohol, and even that was bad. That's why I don't really drink nowadays. Excuse me. Oh fuck, I hate when this happens. That's why I don't really drink nowadays, because stop really my thing. Hey, when you start drinking this early, like alcohol, you don't see the hype about it. I'm saying when you stop, because I didn't become addicted to alcohol, but once you start binge drinking so much at a young age, then you have that period when you stop. Once you become an adult, there's no more hype about alcohol. Like, you don't really care. Like, I've been to parties and man them are like, oh, you're lightweight. Oh, I bet I can drink more than you. And I'm just like, okay, cool. I don't give a shit. You'll be on the floor before me, I guess. What the fuck? Like, I actually don't give two shits. Like, peer pressure does not work on me. Like, I don't want to fit in, actually. And I don't care to fit in. So if I do it, it's solely because I decided to do it.
I went to jail.
How long did you serve?
I was in there for 3 months.
Did that help you on the road to sobriety?
If I would have got out and just went back on the streets, I'd probably be back on drugs right now.
What should the punishment be for a dealer that's selling people meth?
Definitely jail time.
What was the low point of your meth journey?
Right before I came here, I lost custody of my girls. I lost the love of my life.
Damn.
I'm facing like 17 years in prison right now. If you're struggling with drug addiction, you got to find your higher power. You got to
17 years in prison. What was he the cook? Was he cooking it?
Nice to
he must have been whipping it in the kitchen, bro.
That you love and tell them the problems you're going through.
This guy was whipping in the kitchen, bro. How are you getting 17 years
Piles
for
of paperwork
just,
and no
he
time
wasn't
for
just a
strategic
user.
HR? Let Bob clear up your to-do list. Say hi to Bob.
Our next stop is talking to drug dealer Shakedown, who is currently facing federal time for her narcotics operation. We wanted to talk to someone that had hands-on experience with fentanyl. Here's what we learned.
How do you describe yourself?
Just try to get a dollar, take care of my people.
So what are you currently up against right now?
Facing about 9 to 10 years, manufacturing methamphetamine, fentanyl, cocaine. I've spent 5 years already in prison. You know, I mean, this is federal time, so it's gonna be different.
Do you think there's any shot at beating the case, or what are you looking at?
No, I don't think so. It's nothing that's gonna stop me from going to prison for some time. I ain't start, really hustling, like selling narcotics and whatnot until 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Before that, I was handling it, like robbing people, going to people's cars, going to people's houses, and doing what I could to just stay afloat. I was introduced to selling drugs, and I was like, damn, I ain't gotta beat nobody up no more. I ain't gotta do all this. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta do all this, put my life at risk, put your life at risk.
Wait, he said a girl, right? He said her, right? I'm just making sure. I'm not bugging her, right? This shit beating up people. I'm like, damn. She. Oh. Holy.
Have you ever felt bad for a customer?
Before I ever started selling fentanyl, I lost my girlfriend. My girlfriend before this, I didn't give a f. I was like, if I'm gonna lose somebody, y'all gonna lose somebody. I kind of like numbed up after a while. Like,
damn.
What are the drugs that are in Omaha right now? Like, what are the biggest drugs that people are selling?
Fentanyl, super hate to Confederate.
If I grew up in one of them cities, bro, I would have been done for, bro. I would have been done for. I was a rebellious kid, you know. I would have been running with some mad people, bro. But true say, you never know, because I did run with some mad people, and I still turned out quite alright. So, you know what I'm saying?
Methamphetamine, fentanyl,
this is crazy,
bro. Cocaine over 400, but less than 700 grams.
How much money does all that cost?
That'd be like 50,000.
And then what can you flip that into?
You get 50,000 straight up, but you ain't find people, you gonna flip that to 150,000 easy.
The first hit of fentanyl, what is that like?
If you are constantly a person that deals with trauma and traumatic situations, it's down for a minute, you know what I mean?
Do you think most drug users and even drug sellers are running away from trauma, and drugs are kind of the way to like patch up the pain?
Hell yeah. I feel like it's never the drugs, it's the experiences that you've been through that made you, gravitate to that.
Earlier this morning we met with the mom of a kid who overdosed, and it's just her son's death has impacted the whole family. It has a trickle effect. What would you say to the parents of people that have overdosed?
I've been through it, so it's like I don't, people make their own choices, and you just gotta stop them from making those choices not by telling them what to do.
What's the youngest person you would say that has come to buy drugs from you?
13, 14.
What does it cost for a serving of fentanyl?
If you buy it in the book,
13!
what to do.
What's the youngest person you would say that has come to buy drugs from you?
13, 14.
What does it cost for a serving of fentanyl?
If you buy it in the book, I get it for $1.25.
And what do you sell it for?
$30.
I wish you the best.
Wait, what?
Get it for $1.25.
And what does it cost for a serving of fentanyl?
If you buy it in the book, I get it for $1.25.
And what do you sell it for?
$30.
I wish you.
That's a crazy profit. That's a crazy profit. Wait. No wonder they don't give a shit. You turn 125 into $30. Bro, you do that 3 times, you're a fucking millionaire. What the fuck?
You the best.
I appreciate you.
Tell me a little bit about your story.
Well, I was living out in Omaha.
Did I hear this right?
Serving of fentanyl. Say that has come to buy drugs from you.
13, 14.
Did I hear?
And what do you sell it for?
$30.
I wish.
Did I hear this
If you
right?
buy it in the book, I get it for $1.25.
And what do you sell it for?
$30.
I wish you the best.
I appreciate you.
Tell me a little bit about your story.
Well, I was living out in Omaha, and the perk 30s were really huge, and that's how I started using, you know.
I've heard that in rap
Perks.
songs.
Yep.
Perk 10, I just popped a perk 10. Perk 30, I just popped a perk 30. Perk snoozing like you on perk 30. Snoozing like you on perk 30.
So, even the rappers on fucking perks and heroin, bro. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Talks about the perk 30s. They glamorize using the perk 30s, getting fucked up on the perk 30s, but honestly, laced with fentanyl, super addictive. A lot of it is the chemical dependency in your body. It's not so much you wanting to get high anymore, it's your body physically needs it. My drug addiction really took everything from me. The number one thing on my mind all the time was getting high and using.
How long have you been clean for?
I've been clean for 70 days.
What is your plan to make sure you don't fall back?
Those withdrawals, man, when I went through withdrawals and treatment, it felt like I was on my deathbed, you know. Couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I was throwing up, and that's a big reason why I feel like I can't go back, is just because I know the hold that it'll have on my life. I was spending $500 a week on my drug habit.
What was rock bottom for you?
I was staying in someone else's house, no money, selling my own things on Facebook, so that way I had money to get high, and even then I was maybe using one time a day and I was still really sick. Addiction doesn't discriminate, you know. People think that it's only low-class people who get addicted to drugs, but honestly, anyone can get addicted to drugs. I was very fortunate growing up. When I was finally on my own, I met a man who kind of veered my life in a different direction, and I chose to take that path.
I can't imagine what it's like doing your job in this area. What is it like?
You get used to it. I mean, that's what you signed up for, right?
What would you do to help a city like this?
I really don't have an answer for you.
I guess you can either invest money into the incarceration side.
That's above his pay grade, fam. He's just here to make arrests. He's just here to arrest people, bro. He's like, Tommy, that's way over my pay grade. I don't have an answer for this, mate.
Or you can invest money into the rehabilitation side.
You gotta go for rehabilitation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to help people as best you can. You don't want to incarcerate them for life.
What percent of the calls you would say you have to answer to are drug related?
Probably more than half.
We appreciate what you're doing and thank you.
Yeah, you all take care, right?
Damn. Bruh. There's another video.